Hey, hi, hello, everybody. No fun intro screen or music tonight, but maybe you guys are singing at home. Hopefully you are, because you waited like an hour for us to go live. So sorry about that. Don't know what the deal is, but thanks for being patient and then switching over to YouTube. Let me know if you can hear me. Hello. This is episode 29 of Games on the Rocks. If you're not familiar with Meeples Included, which I hope most of you are, Meeples Included is a website and community where we talk about board games and just life in general, but with a mindfulness on inclusivity and just positivity. So this is a show that we used to do just about every Friday night, and then life happened and we all got really busy and we hadn't done one in a while. So we wanted to have a Spoopy reunion. Happy dance for stream. Okay, I'm assuming this all means that you guys can hear us, so. Yeah, you did have an hour of Cuphead music. You did have an hour of Cuphead, for sure. That's Spencer Scott, by the way, from Late Night Tabletop, as you guys can all see, and they stream on Twitch, too. So I am one of your hosts, Stephanie Straw. I am one of the Meeples, and included with me tonight is Marguerite Cottrell.
Hey, everybody. How's it going? Oh,
and also Nicole Hoy. Oh. Can't hear Nicole. Can you hear Nicole?
I can't hear Nicole. Nicole, are you muted?
The technical hits keep on coming.
I'm not muted.
There you are. Hi.
Wow, that was weird. I was not muted. I then muted myself and unmuted. Anyway. Hi.
Obviously, we are in the market for a new, like,
internet.
A new internet would be great, because there's been a lot of womp womp on the internet lately. So yeah, a brand new internet would be great.
Thank you. Yes.
Yes, that would be absolutely wonderful. Hey Chad, hey Tony, Netters Plays, Kabuki Kid. Oh, we missed you.
Yay!
Paul.
And thank you all for the very entertaining chat as we're like so frustrated and trying to get everything started. It was helping.
Yeah, it was really rad.
I didn't get to read it because I was like knee deep in trying to watch YouTube tutorials.
She was trying to go like all like Freddy the 13th.
And her camera kept going.
Yes.
Oh yeah, it was fantastic.
You missed some comedy gold.
It was really funny. You guys just go ahead and laugh.
We'll wait right here until you're done.
We'll wait while you laugh. So I can't show you the beautiful image that Nicole made.
So you're not missing much.
We're not on Twitch, but you could see it on our Facebook and our Twitter. Yes. It is a very spoopy recipe, and this is not prepared, so I'm just gonna pull it up here so that I can read it for you guys. I could probably link it. I think I can link it, like link to Facebook. I don't know what's allowed. Who knows? It's just too darn cute to not share. So
it was really cute.
It was that ghost.
Hi, Brad.
Really did it.
Here we go.
Really did it.
That should work. Okay, so this is a blood orange margarita. Holy goodness, it sounds amazing.
It's delicious.
It is.
I made the actual drink, you guys.
Yes, I always love it.
Yes,
that does that. 2 ounces of tequila, 1 ounce of triple sec. I'm liking it so far. 3 ounces of fresh blood orange juice. That is fresh blood orange juice, not
fresh blood, orange juice.
Orange juice. And then the juice of a lime. So also lime blood.
Yes.
Pour over ice in a salt-rimmed glass and garnish with a lime wedge. Oh, and like shake all that together.
Shake that business.
And then look at that little spoopy ghost that Nicole is on there, because it is so adorable. I want to boop it.
I'm not a graphic designer, but thank Glob for pictochart.com.
I am.
Pictochart's good. Canva's good. I like them all.
Yeah, it's like that's what I used to put together, like a whole bunch of infographics.
Stuff that we use to make. I will have to show you guys a behind the scenes on how we make Meeples Included happen, because a hamster wheel.
And tin cans, some string, like
a Tesla
important.
coil at one point.
So I switched cups. I did have a fancy glass, but due to technical difficulties, I needed this bad boy right here.
Oh, heck yes.
I supersized my drink, and
where are you, Chris Shuck, when we need you?
Is that backwards for you guys? Is that backwards?
Wait, I have my hashtag blessed just in case I needed it.
Oh my God.
Nice.
It's full of wine.
What have I done?
Fine.
Full of wine.
So good. Yeah, is that backwards? Do you guys see that as backwards?
Yeah, no, it's perfect.
Okay, good.
It's the correct, perfect. It's English readable.
Words.
It's that way.
Anyway, I highly recommend this cocktail. It's extremely delicious.
Yeah.
So I thought I was going to be without cocktails. I was just going to have wine. And I discovered extra tequila at my house. So this is orange juice grenadine and tequila because I didn't have any of the fancy stuff. But it's that nice, like, blood orange color.
Yeah. Is that a skull cup? I love it.
That's my skull Frank.
I thought about getting a Spoopy thing, but I couldn't find one. So
I have this one, and then I bought this one at Safeway too, and it's a mason jar skull.
Ooh, heck yes!
I want to hand everything in that skull mason jar. That is so awesome. Yeah, I do. Do we all have a straw? Do you have a straw?
Yes.
No, because I have a salted rim.
Though, yeah, you have a salt rim, but
yeah, I can't.
I weirdly feel super adult when I have a straw. And then when you've done.
It feels like a fancy cocktail when you have
it.
That.
It does. Yeah. There's
I don't want to have to clean the lipstick off my cups. So that's my
right, because you can see actually I was looking at Mag's lipstick circle on her straw because her lipstick is fabulous tonight.
Right.
So what have you been doing, Nicole?
Oh my
You're like traveling all over the place. What have you been doing lately?
So I just went on vacation / to Shucks. So I visited Portland and Seattle and then Vancouver for Shucks, and it was amazing. You can see my poster on the wall here. That's the Quan Chai poster, which was amazing.
It is so gorgeous. I want to live. I want there to be a video game of that world.
It's so adorable. Oh, I love it so much. But yeah, so I got to hang out with Tiffany and Steve in Portland. Yeah, me and Evan stayed with them, played a bunch of games, did a impromptu stream of Drop Mix, which was fun. And then in Seattle, I got to hang out with Evan and Suze and a couple of local friends there.
Not me.
No, because you weren't in Seattle.
I was not. You come to Seattle when I'm in Nevada.
Yeah. But then I got to see Mags in Vancouver because we were both at Shucks. And Shucks was amazing. It was so good. I wish it was longer. It was only 3 days. I could have done with an extra day.
So I know listen, everybody's going to talk about everything they love from Shucks. I want to know, and this is not negative, but I want to know what are the things. It's their first year. It's their first time doing it. What are the things that you noticed about the convention that are it's their first year and they'll fix that for next year?
I had some of these while I was there.
Yeah, the first day, they didn't really have enough open gaming space.
They were too popular.
Just so popular.
They had they had the whole ballroom set up like theater seating style for a bunch of panels, and didn't crush it down to a smaller room. So it was a little bit. It was a little bit tough.
So there was not enough room for open gaming, but the panels, they were in these really large auditoriums.
It was, yeah. But that was just the Friday. They then compacted it down to a smaller room. But I think
they adjusted on the fly.
I think they had meant to do that, but then I think they had not enough room for some of the panels. It was tough. So I just don't think they kind of knew how to anticipate the attendance for each of the panels.
It's really hard, yeah.
Well, 2 of the panels were set up that were a little bit more hands-on, and they were set up with stadium seating the same way. So
really
our game
tables.
design panel, people were designing games on the floor.
So I
don't know, man. Maybe that really inspired them to just like bang out some amazingness.
I will say, so Grant Rodiak ran this game design panel called Design Like Your Hair is on Fire.
It was so good.
Went so freaking well. We got amazing games in an hour. People were designing and pitching the games.
It was the most creative and awesome design jam I've ever seen.
Including somebody in the chat was one of the designers.
Yeah, Chris, NPC Chris, I'm assuming, is who they were talking about.
Baritocracy!
Baritocracy!
What do you, so if your hair is on fire, how do you design?
Grant wouldn't let me actually set anyone's hair on fire.
We threatened.
Are you designing quickly? Are you like designing running?
Yeah, it was just, it was an hour. It was 60 minutes. And so people got a bunch of like cards where they mixed two words together and that was the title of their game. And then they came over, got a random bag of components and then went and designed a game. That was it. And it was so amazing.
And there was a focus, like, don't worry about turn order, don't worry about tiebreakers, just get the meat, get the hook, get like what is special about the game. Yeah. And I thought that was really cool and a good focus because I've been at game jams before and they never had that cool little focus to them.
Yeah. And also, I think a lot of the game jams I've been to have been like those 24-hour or 48-hour ones. Ugh. Where, you really like.
I've only seen like kind of like online game jams, which are like design like the roll and write contest, which I call that a game design jam, or the tin games, you know, that you can fit in the tins, or when someone does a contest like 54 card.
Hava did one, yeah.
But let me tell you, at the end of this hour, we had 8 games, of which I thought
are all published.
2 to 3 were commercially viable, and all of them sounded awesome.
We wanted to play a bunch of them. Like
I still really want to play one of them.
Were there any cooperative games, Max? You said you thought you liked all of them.
There was a cooperative one.
Cooperative. Okay. There was one that started a cooperative, and it moved into teams. But there was negotiation, bluffing, worker placement. There was like every game had a different mechanism, which was really cool.
Yeah. Cool. Space Jam does dexterity
game. Yes, there was a dexterity game, and it was just really cool
to game.
Like people that were just gamers, like come together, random groups of people that probably didn't know each other before this event.
Yeah, what was the mix? Was it like mostly industry people? Was it mostly designers, publishers?
It was mostly just like regular attendees.
Well, however, so I was going through my photos the other day, and did you notice that Jake Cormier had snuck in and was in one of the design teams? Because I didn't see him.
I think he was just chatting with them.
Because he's on like 3 of my photos. I'm like, where the heck was he?
He just popped in to say hi, I think.
He does have
so he was just like sitting and chatting.
6,000 feet tall. I don't know how I missed him, but there were a lot of things going on. But like, it was really fun. Like Chris was in a group. Beth Sobel and her husband were there, and a couple other like designers were kind of snuck into other groups. And
it was really awesome to see. Like that was really a very unique experience.
It was really cool. Like it stuck with me. I've got a bunch of GoPro footage from it, so I'm gonna hopefully find a way to use that.
Together.
What's that?
I feel like I could write a whole blog thing about
that. Blog, but maybe do something for the Meeples Included YouTube too.
Well, I'm hoping to, and I also had like the other night I couldn't sleep, so I spat out about 800 words so far on Shucks, and it's only one of the days, so I gotta pare that down and then try and finish that.
Yeah,
but Nicole, I saw you wrote up your Shucks.
Let's talk about Shucks.
I did. I wrote up a con report for the daily worker placement, and it was I
saw that. Yeah, we should link to that.
Yeah,
let me get the link to that.
It was pretty like much of an overview. For the daily worker placement stuff, I don't like to deep dive too much. I don't like to get too long into things, so I don't tend to break it down by day. I just sort of give an overall, like, here was the experience kind of thing.
That was kind of my intention to turn into like. What's that?
Oh, I linked to the daily worker.
Thank you.
Oh, yay!
Article.
So I've been meaning to write up
stuff.
Something. I've been meaning to write up something like on my personal blog as well. So maybe I'll get to that this weekend if I'm not sleeping.
She might come in. She was here earlier. I think she also got frustrated with the technical difficulties. So she's de-stressing. She's probably like face deep in some catnip. I don't know. Who knows?
Whoa.
It's been a long day.
Just getting real.
So Max, so you went to Shucks too. What have you been up to outside of that?
I switched from an old work to a new work, and that took up a lot of time, which also came with a little bit of travel right away. And then I got stupidly injured, like stupid, bedridden for a week injured. And so I've had like a really shitty month. But it's getting better. Like I wore a real shoe. Like I actually got to lace it yesterday.
And you walked around you walked in Vancouver with us, like you were up for
right,
it.
Those shoes were not laced. Did you not notice I didn't have laces on my shoes?
That's fine.
And it hurts like the dickens.
Oh.
But yeah, I tore a ligament in the right side and just like a really, really bad sprain on my ankle. And I also just like my hand's still all skinned up and everything. It's really bad.
Girl.
Yeah.
Jeez.
I did a bad. And so that was not ideal. But I'm feeling better. I have I booked my travel for BGG yesterday, so I am like super pumped, infused with energy.
I don't know where I'm staying yet. So
I'm
staying with someone. I have options.
But I mean,
yeah,
I was gonna say, like, we can find you a place like somewhere within our network.
Yeah, I haven't super fit. I don't know exactly where my home will be in BGG Con, but I have some. I'm super excited. I drive down, so I'm not like that. My travel's been booked. I don't know if I'm going to drive with anyone because, like, our friend Chris Jacques, he's driving, but I don't know if he's like driving with friends.
Oh, he's driving a different time.
I miss Chris. Yeah. Well, because he's coming from a different place now most of the time.
Oh,
like he's living in one city. Yeah, right, I guess I don't know how far. Like, it's like an hour or two away now, right?
He's pretty far from me. Like before, he was about 45 minutes to an hour, and he's like almost.
Worst comes to worst, you could daisy chain, like drive to his house, and then drive from there.
yeah. I'm flexible.
Anyway, I mean,
no matter what, you'll both get to Dallas, and we'll see you both, and that will be amazing.
No,
although we have bad news for the chat, no Suze this year.
Yeah.
No.
I'm so bummed. Suze has been so crazy busy, but she's doing some amazing things. The Dice Tower podcast. Yeah. By the way, if you guys haven't checked that out, like, even if you don't listen to podcasts, just check out one of the episodes with Mandy and Suze on the Dice Tower Network. And if you liked it, really appreciate like a thumbs up or a like 5-star or 4-star or whatever. Leave an accurate review, but really appreciate it.
Even if you had trouble with them, leaving them constructive, polite criticism might be a nice thing, because they're not getting that at the moment.
They're getting a lot of negative feedback. So I just kind of, if you enjoyed it, then I think it would be good if you left them some positive.
I think Suze got some like helpful feedback about her audio quality, and so she got a new microphone and stuff. So like that kind of stuff is really helpul.
Right, but anything like giggling and gurgle talk is not going to do it.
I grit my teeth at the issues about quality because, like, I mean, look at our show. Hello, like, what am I doing? Well,
and I'm not going to specifically say things, but there are plenty of Dice Tower things that happen that aren't near the audio quality that Suze was already at.
So I'm sorry, I grit my teeth a little bit at that, but sure. Yeah, we could all.
I mean, that's not trolling, at least.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, and I mean, Suze has really worked her way up, creating content for the Dice Tower.
She puts a lot into it.
She puts a lot of content out just on Twitter. Like,
well, now
just
she's doing
constantly
Cruise and Essen with them. Like, she's putting so much time and effort in.
And Mandy has been going to a bunch.
Is going through things.
Yeah. So Mandy has been doing a lot of YouTube streaming already before Dice Tower stuff, and then she has done Dice Tower segments.
I didn't know she was doing live streaming stuff.
Yeah, so she does live streaming through. She has like a group of people in Ottawa where she is, and it's called To Die For Games. And so
I
they
didn't know
do
they live stream.
Yeah, so they do some live streaming of games on YouTube.
Yeah.
A little bit. It's not a constant thing. And then her and Carol Tan from Quickie Games here in Toronto, they do Chit Chat with Carol and Mandy, and that's great. Like, I think they have a really good dynamic, and so there's just so much content being made by amazing women.
And Babs, if anyone knows Carol, I've not met her yet, and I'd really like to. She seems really cool.
Great. She is so great. Unfortunately,
so anyone wants to introduce me, I'm very bad at that.
Nevers, can you link to that? You're doing a live chat. Can you?
Yes. I can't make it, unfortunately. I would have loved to, but the live chats that Netters and Mandy do are great. I did one with them last year. I think it was last year. And it's just fun. It's just fun to have chats with people about games.
Mark Salomon, we're so glad that you decided to make us one of your very few video things that you watch. I know some people like video, some people like audio, some people like both. We, the people here, kind of do both. So, I think all of us have our own podcasts plus our own video stuff, plus some of us do blog stuff too.
Yeah, so. I do all the things.
Good news, bad news. The Chit Chat podcast I had been doing before, Man vs. Meeple and To Die For both have a Chit Chat thing now. So it's just going to be the Meeples Included podcast going forward. We're just about to make that announcement.
I like it. I didn't know Man vs. Meeple had a Chit Chat thing.
Yeah, they did. I'm not here to tell them to stop doing their stuff, but it's messing with my SEO, and you can't find my podcast on Stitcher. Like, you literally cannot. Yeah. So, and it's just me and Jason, and we get like 300 to 500 downloads. Like, it's not a big podcast. So
that's rough. Yeah.
Who cares?
Oh no, I don't care. Me and Jason have fun. So like, that's all that matters. But just letting you all know, if you listen to Chit Chat, it will be changed to Meeples Included. And if y'all ever want to use the Meeples Included podcast name, you are more than welcome to. I always just felt like that was me, like, taking over this whole big collaborative thing. So
yeah, for sure.
I think you have enough Meeples Included people on every so often that it makes sense to call it the Meeples Included podcast.
We're covering every day of the week, I think, at some point.
Yeah.
Well, and I'm trying to get back into video. I finished my top 100 and then my life fell apart. So I'm getting back.
That top 100 was killer. If you haven't seen it,
top 100 was fun as shit. Let me tell you.
Make your way to Maggie Bot's YouTube channel and check that out, because hot diggity.
It's just youtube.com/MaggieBot. MAGGIB.
Yeah, or MaggieBot.com goes there. And then I have like a list challenge on there under MaggieBot if you ever want to see.
I did okay. Like,
what? Ross is here. Hello, Ross.
Hi, Ross.
Sneak in.
Oh, hey.
Ross is not in Seattle right now, so he gets a hi.
I think I probably have added one to the list now by playing London at Shucks.
Oh my God, London. Ross, can I tell you, I did my best London ever at Shucks.
She killed us.
I did my best London ever. MaggieBot 2017.
She rebuilt the shit out of that town.
That town was mine.
Yeah. Very little poverty. It was chef kiss. So yeah, I don't know, like, I've seen this week on Twitter has been Terry from Geek and Sundry started up the hashtag Women in Tabletop. That's been amazing. Women are tweeted. There's been a lot of shitty stuff being directed towards women in tabletop gaming, which was kind of the impetus for that. And as a result, we've seen a lot of signal boosting and sharing, but just keep supporting women in tabletop, please. Even if you don't say you're doing it, just do it, because that's great. Just do it. Like, we don't need to give you a cookie.
So we had some other things that we wanted to talk about.
I'll find a cookie. I'll give
sorry.
Yeah, no, it's cool. So we had some other things we want to talk about. I think, have you guys played Seventh Continent? Yes or no?
No.
No. I visited with a couple of weeks ago. I went to the Davios and we did a lot of work. And then we also did some play too. Some of the work was like stuff for me for Renegade games, and then stuff for them for, stuff that Rob is working on, which is, I can't talk about, but
Yay!
I can't talk about the Renegade stuff either, but we did play Seventh Continent and I can talk about that. And it was the game, the exploration part of it was like a little bit of what I thought Gloomhaven was going to be.
Okay.
So, and I like Gloomhaven. I don't want to say that like buy Seventh, don't buy Gloom. You know what I mean? But Gloomhaven is like a little bit more of a tactical miniatures game than I thought it was going to be. And then Seventh Continent was like not on my radar at all until my friend was like, oh, it's a really good game. And I kind of was like, yeah, whatever. And then I went to the Davios house and Rob was like, well, we're going to play Seventh Continent. We're really excited about it. I was like, oh, my friend says that's amazing. I want to play it. Wow. Like there are some really clever things incorporated into this game. There is a cool item like combination system. You can have items and you can combine items together. So you can get like a basket and combine a basket with like some sort of stick, and then you have like a basket on a stick and it like does different things now. So, and if you combine like items, it's even better because you have more charges or more uses for them. So I just thought that was really cool. And then also they incorporate the art on the cards. It's a little bit, so you have these cards and then you'll flip them over, or you'll like pull cards from a deck, like put card 037 here. And then if this happens, then put like card 056 here, or, 289, whatever. But they incorporate at some point the artwork, and this is not a spoiler, but it's like blew my mind and I loved it. Isn't a basket on a stick called a neck? Paul, I don't need your sass. I'm just kidding. Yeah, I don't know. I really loved it. We didn't end up finishing the first like scenario. I think the base game comes with 6 or so maybe, or maybe that's the expansion. I don't know. But the first one I've heard some people say it took us like 7 hours to finish the first one, which is fine. I think a lot of people take their time with it. And there's some things that are kind of crunchy in the rules to like really grasp and like get your hands on, and like wrap your brain around, which I'm happy to help. If any of you are playing Seventh Continent and you're like, I'm not sure about the rules, just message me and I will help you. But wow, I loved it. I don't have any more like awesome words to say about it. I backed it because it's also, from what I understand, and Maggie, tell me if I'm right or wrong. You still have this information, I believe, right? You're still in the know about all this
I
stuff.
have things I can't say on the internet, but I know that they're trying to figure out how they might do that someday.
I was under the impression that they were not going to
not
be
in this
retail.
Right. Not in this packaging or like this amount. Like they would never sell that the way it is at retail. So I think in the far, far flung future, this is in no way backside information because it's real information. But I think they're trying to figure out how to make that a available thing. But it won't be as cool or as crazy.
I mean, it's like what, 80 something bucks, I think, on the Kickstarter, which to some people is kind of high. But I will say it's replayable. So some people, it's replayable in that you don't destroy anything. So some people, once they're done, it's going to be on like the BGG market. It's going to be for sale because they've played it, so they know the story kind of. It still could be different when they play it, but some people just might not want to play the same things. So you might end up getting a cheap copy that way.
So I'm currently, I do a podcast, and my podcast co-host Jason spoke for me like 30 minutes on Seventh Continent. He just could not stop talking because he was so excited about it. So when they launched this new version, I had to back it just because like I I know, even if it's not a game I think I'll like, if someone is that passionate about it, and like Crystal from Board Game Blitz was like, literally, this is the best use of time I've ever had in my life. I'm like, okay, I really need to at least experience that and kind of like better through it. I guess if that makes sense.
I mean, and you're not a huge fan of cooperative games,
right? But what I'll probably do, and I'm also not a solo gamer, is that this game feels like a solo game to me because it's been likened to Choose Your Own Adventure, which is a book which I always read by myself. I don't think I ever asked other people for their input, so I'm happy to try and solo it.
I think it would be okay solo, but I think there are some really neat aspects of it that if you just had at least one other person present, it will amplify it like to a worthwhile amount.
Well, and I very recently somewhat liked a co-op game. Hello.
What? If I had a horn, I would do a horn.
So the kind of negotiation that's in Spirit Island is what I want in a co-op game all the time. Spirit Island from Greater Than Games.
I really want to try that.
So what's cool about that one, and I'm not going to say it solves the alpha gamer problem, because technically an alpha gamer can come in and be like, everybody show me your stuff and I will tell you what to do, right? But this one,
alpha's going to alpha.
Right, alpha's going to alpha. You can't stop that. But with Spirit Island, everyone's controlling a character that is built to do a thing, and you have kind of known enemies, and they're coming out, and you can see what they're doing, and everyone has this really cool, like, it's simultaneous, sort of, but you can kind of be like, okay, but if I deal with this dude, you can deal with that guy, right? Or can anyone get that guy over there because we're going to have an issue? And so the negotiation in that was exactly what I want at a co-op. Seventh Continent, I feel, is going to have a similar style of negotiation, because technically speaking, I could ruin the whole game of Seventh Continent by saying, fuck you guys, I'm going right, and I'm just going to do my own thing. I'm going to run off into that corner, and I'm going to, like, discover all this stuff that doesn't do anything.
I mean, like any RPG, really.
But it's not an RPG. It's a card game. Like, it's just this
it's
different,
the spirit
right?
of that, right? Like, you can still do that in an RPG and mess with things.
Just like any game, in my opinion, the people are going to make the game or break it a lot of the time.
Mm-hmm.
At Shucks, I played the most enjoyable game I can remember, and it was Brussels. And the game of Brussels I had played before that was not as enjoyable. But that game of Brussels, I laughed so hard I was crying.
It was so good.
Oh my god. I've had the hustle stuck in my head since then. But for Seventh Continent, the only thing I'm having trouble with is they keep adding things because it's part of that Kickstarter mode. Like, hey, we have a new add-on. You can do this thing.
I don't even pay attention to that. If I want the game, I back it. If it's early bird, whatever, like, I don't care. I back so many games. Like, I don't want the game.
There's a consideration, though. So if I want the game, just the game, I'll buy the base. If I want the option of trading or selling it, I need to get a fair amount of the bits for it. And they just keep adding. So my friend Matt has like a whole spreadsheet.
Components?
No. They're doing like, here's like the 17,000 expansions we already had planned for it. But now you have to like put in add-on pledges. Your like base pledge plus X amount of dollars. It's not my favorite. Not my favorite.
Yeah, that's why I kind of like the idea of them trying to retail it and maybe doing that like base and then having packs come out after it.
I do kind of want to see the $50 version of it, but
for
right now, I think I'm backing for about $200.
There are just so many cards. I'm at like what I'm just like I can't get the game. That's what I want. Kabuki Kid says, I did play Seventh Continent with a guy who didn't really like it. He thought it was okay, but didn't see the big deal. He was also barely reading the text and was just plowing through the game. I find that interesting because I don't know that I would, if I didn't read the text, like, I would actually still really love the game because they're just really cool, like I said, really cool things that are in it. Like, I was like, we were all so excited about. And so even if I didn't read it and didn't understand the story and like what's going on, which the story can kind of vary because there's a lot of like random events that you put down. So what happens like can be, you know, can go whatever way because of those. But man, I don't know that would make it or break it for me is like reading the cards. But yeah, I don't know. I haven't had any, sure. I mean, maybe it's not for them, you know, maybe the group wasn't super excited about it. So maybe like they didn't get excited. I don't know, but
I don't know. If you're just going to kind of miss out on that content, maybe you're just not interested in the first place.
Maybe they didn't get, honestly, it could even be, so the two things that I talked about being excited about, the item combination and the way that they incorporate art into the mechanics of the game, you could actually never encounter those potentially. So if you're not like a sandbox style gamer, if you aren't just like, let's go explore this, you could potentially, the way that probability stands, like I think that you could maybe not ever encounter those things, but I think that would be a really, really low probability if you like missed out on those. Whatever. I think it's great. It's the first Kickstarter that I've backed in a really long time. So, and I have like no money, so that's kind of.
It's really tough for me to be able to back Kickstarters right now.
Yeah.
So
I also want waffles. Are there board games about waffles? More board games? Oh wait, actually there is a board game about waffles coming up. The Stranger Things. The
Stranger Things on it.
I was
gonna say like Renegade have like 20 dessert games coming out. I was like, they have a waffle one.
Article that was like, we're not sure if the name of the game is literally just card game.
I'm not sure. Like it could be the like 11th Eggo waffle surprise blah blah.
Oh boy. Oh no. Yeah.
Oh yeah, good old Stranger Things Uno. All right.
Oh, the Nerdist linked to it too. Let's just link this article.
I do want to try it.
And a friend of ours had tried to get that license, and Stranger Things didn't know what to do with a game, so they're like, "Fuck you guys!" Like, nah.
Oh, really?
Well, I'm sure it was much nicer than that, but no.
I know, but like, it's Hasbro, right?
Right, it's Hasbro now. Yeah. Which I have nothing against Hasbro games. I think that's a great way to get people into a game.
Sure.
But even the picture of 11 doesn't go with 11 in the show.
Kabuki Kid, I think, nailed it. Eggo Uno, because that's what the article was like. Is this just Uno? I think.
Yes.
I think this is just Uno.
Lego, my number 2.
I kind of get excited. I don't want like good is relative, but I don't want like not good games to be made. But I do get kind of excited when really popular, especially like popular on this level, because Stranger Things is like, I think the niche that if people are watching Stranger Things and they don't know about board games or they don't like play board games in 2017, then I think that's a like really good audience to hit. So I get excited about stuff like this because if it makes people aware that like board games exist and beyond, you know, Monopoly and Candyland and stuff like that, then I think that even if the game is not amazing, then it's a good opportunity. And I think it's good. Now, whenever a really involved game is made with an IP and it's not good and it's like really hard to learn and the barrier is like really high for learning it and teaching it, that's not good. But if this card game is literally Uno, but like Eggo Uno, then honestly,
I think that's a good thing.
More people will probably like it. It'll be really approachable and they'll feel like they know how to play. And
like it's a good title for Hasbro to have because that fits with their like, you know.
Is it going to be for like the hobbyist gamer? Maybe not. I don't know. You know.
You know what? I will sit down and I will play Uno. I have no issue with it.
Yeah, I'll play Uno. I don't care. I have a winning strategy. I'll beat you every time. I know how to do it.
I will fight you. Let's Eggo down at BGGCon, my friend.
And as long as we find a place with waffles afterward, because
I'm just gonna like
follow me.
I'm just gonna
me, right?
waffles. Follow me.
That's an inside joke. I'm sorry, guys.
That's such a good one.
Uno's fixed with a house ruler too. See, Kabuki Kid knows what's up.
Yeah.
And
So
Nicole
I
was
do have
talking
a
about
question
having
for
to
you
explain
both.
games. Yeah.
And this is especially for stuff because I know she's been doing something with Renegade lately. Have either of you played the Scott Pilgrim card game?
I played a bit of it.
Is it
I didn't play it, but I like was demo adjacent to it a lot at Gen Con.
Yeah.
The rules are not great. Unfortunately, like it was a little bit tough to
So that's actually kind of what I'm talking about because the IP is so widely like, yes, Scott Pilgrim game, and people just want to buy the game because they love Scott Pilgrim, and I love Scott Pilgrim. But the rules are a little rough. But I don't know if they could have done a whole lot different. Like I don't know,
double-sided cards, and I'm like, that's gonna be hard to learn. But I really want to play it.
It's interesting. Like I don't think that complicates it. It's just an interesting aspect to it.
Yeah, but if you're Mary Go Lightly, who's never played a hobby game, and
it's
you
gonna
pick
be like,
up a
what
card,
the
and
heck?
like you can choose
Mary Go Lightly. Sorry.
I don't know what those
Holly Go Lightly is like from Breakfast at
Well, I know what Holly Go Lightly is, but it's Mary Go Lightly.
Mary Go.
Holly's cousin.
Yeah, her cousin. Yeah. No, but I get that. Like, so the barrier for learning that game could be high for people that aren't like super into board games.
Yeah, I get that. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, for sure. But I don't know if they could have like written the rules different. I mean, you never know.
They could have. It could have been way clearer in the rules. Like it was super frustrating.
Well, they didn't have me helping them with the rules.
Well, this is true. I mean, I sat down at Fan Expo with Mandy and Carol, and we tried to bang out a game, and I mean, we had to kind of pack up because the show was closing down. But like, we sat there for maybe 45 minutes, and half of that was us just like struggling at the rules to find like a relevant thing that would help us. And that was frustrating. So yeah,
rules are so hard. I want to do like a whole show on rules because it's weird because as a sort of like a newbie board gamer, big rules are very daunting and like overwhelming. But then also as an experienced gamer, you're like, do I want to learn the rules to this game that's like 30 pages and seems hard, or do I just want to play this game that I already know how to play? So it's like it's on both ends. I feel like rules can be like basically rules are just always potentially a barrier. Always.
I just
videos and like Dice doing their
play,
all of that is still.
The Esoteric Order of Gamers have the Universal Head, like basically infographics that they do for learning games and stuff. But Tiff and I just recorded a guest spot on Botch Games podcast about rules.
That's perfect segue. I knew that.
No, it's coming out on Monday, I think. It was a really interesting conversation. There's a lot about rules to talk about.
Yeah.
Well, Craig tried because I commented on that thread, and he's like, "Oh, you should come on with Kimberly." And then he tried to like get me on for a bunch of like serious stuff, and I'm like, "Can I just talk about games?" Because no one ever invites me onto podcasts to talk about games. They always
will you come on to the Onboard Games podcast and just talk about games?
It was
just
nice.
Talk about games, y'all.
Yeah, it's just nice to talk about like something that is game related instead of politics related. Honestly,
literally. I get involved and
That's
someone's like, okay, you should talk about politics or you should talk about like this or that. And it's always some serious shit.
Yeah, it's just like that's my everyday. Like I just want to talk about games.
The women in gaming angle is like,
oh my God, no.
So sometimes, here's the deal. Sometimes, like my friend Jay asked me to like Skype with his class about board games. And I think also like kind of from a women in board games angle, that to me was important because I'm talking to like young minds in college and about like, you can do it. And like, this is what I'm involved in, and these are some other amazing women that are involved in this, and like it's possible, and those things are important. It's really hard to just go on like any podcast and just be like, so Stephanie, tell me about women and gaming, and it's like,
yeah,
you feel a little bit, I don't know. It's just
I feel marginalized. That's how I feel about
tired,
it.
y'all. That's why I said that. I said that on a post the other day. I just said we're tired, y'all.
There's a certain point where we're just like, we got in this to talk about games. That's really just what we want to do.
Mark, watch games podcast.
Well, I mean,
yeah.
and he very quickly said, okay, you can just talk about whatever you like. But the last time I was actually invited on a podcast to speak about games was the Arkwright review from Dukes of Dice, because one of the gentlemen from Dukes of Dice did not want to play Arkwright.
That's funny.
He just wouldn't. Just no. I love them so much. But yeah, no, generally it's a women in gaming angle. If it's not women in gaming, it's some issue of the day.
And I get it. And I don't want to say like,
sure,
that's not a good thing to talk about. I think you should talk about it. At some point, I've literally said the same thing on every podcast. Like, it's funny because someone will go, "What's your favorite game?" I've heard it's Swordfield Bonanza, and I feel like I'm telling the same damn story. Like, how did you get into gaming? And I'm like, literally, if anyone like, I feel like people know. I feel like they know.
Let me
now.
just link to the 6 other podcasts I talked about that one. Yeah, I have one, like, so I'm gonna do a podcast next week that's just about me, I guess. I don't know. And then I had another. We'll see how that goes. But I had another instance of that same thing on the Ryan LaFlamme and Aaron LaFlamme's podcast, Vox Republica.
Yeah.
They did a hey, this is Marguerite Cottrell, but it focused more on like charity, which is. I will talk about charity on anyone's podcast, like literally any day.
No, because like nobody's like, I don't know. That's not like, I don't want to say over talked about, because women in gaming can never be over talked about, in my opinion. But
it's just like, what do I have to say about it? I
don't know what else I have to. I don't know. I can't fix it. I don't know what I have to say about it.
At this point, I just don't want to come off as like mean. I'm just grumpy. Everything is awful, and I hate everything. So
I'm not grumpy. I just don't know what I have to say. Like, support women. Like,
yes.
Like, could you just believe people when they say something? Like,
yeah. I mean, okay. Don't blindly
them.
support women. Don't just be like, well, she's a woman, so I support her. That's not kind of what I'm saying.
Yeah, but like believing people's stories.
Just keep us in mind. Keep us in mind when you're thinking about when someone on Twitter goes, "What are your favorite podcasts?" and they don't put a gender qualifier on it. Consider some of your favorite podcasts that include people of color and women and just minorities in general. Don't wait for someone to go, "What are your favorite women podcasts? What are your favorite POC podcasts?" Don't wait for people to ask that question that has a qualifier and just say, "These are good podcasts. These are good videos. These are good blogs." If you really believe it. I mean, I'm not asking you to say anything that you don't believe is true. And whatever, you guys are all our friends. So like, you have heard it. Like, preach to the choir, right?
Right. I think I'm kind of in a unique place because I think I fell into vlogging, and it's very much like more, I'm not an entity, and so I don't get mentioned a lot in the bigger stuff, but like anytime someone says, "Who's your like, who do you watch on YouTube?" people link me, but I don't get mentioned in the podcasty type links. I see it.
Well, I think because you're just like kind of barely stepping into the podcast. Well, not barely. Sorry, it sounds like I'm diminishing your podcast efforts, but
I do a very casual thing. Most of what I do is casual because I don't have time for that.
Well, you're doing other stuff. Yeah, totally.
Well, and I don't want it to be like more than a hobby. I never want to make it my central focus, which I think is the big difference. Right? Like a lot of people, that's what they do.
Flight time. Wow. Andrew, he's already gone, but
well, he's in Europe. He's going to France.
Wow.
He was on a flight today, and I think he's in between flights now.
Oh, so he must be going to Essen.
I don't know. I think it's a vacation plus Essen.
bless everybody
Nice.
going to Essen. I hope you're all safe.
Yeah.
Oh, I want to know, people in chat, what are you? So if you're
What you buying?
not going to Essen, like me and us and here, you know, what are you going to be looking for during Essen? Are you going to watch any coverage? Like, what's going to be your favorite coverage? Like, what are you going to be watching? Like, any websites, any YouTube stuff? Like, what are you going to be watching during Essen? I'm just curious because I just want to know good stuff to watch. So yeah, let me know what you guys are going to be checking out during Essen.
Mostly I keep an eye on Twitter, just because I can't keep watching video like live streams and stuff.
I can now. I couldn't before, but now I could just kind of keep it open in the background and like listen and kind of go, oh, what's that? I'm interested in that. So I'll probably be if Board Game Geek is doing stuff on Twitch, I'll be watching that. Unless I know Suze is on the Dice Tower, then I'll be watching that.
I pretty much always have the BGG stream open, and I get into the chat when Eric is doing coverage and sometimes when Beth is, because some of the hosts don't watch the stream chat.
So I will be watching, and I'll be asking, I'll be helping, I'll be answering your questions if you have questions. I will be trying to do that. And Chad Roberts is also a moderator for the BGG Twitch.
He's chatty boy.
I don't know if he's still here or not, but yeah, but he will be also doing that. So we'll be just keeping people in line, and then also making sure that questions are answered and stuff.
Yeah.
So I know we talked about it a little bit before we had gone live, but neither of you, like me, have gone through the Essen preview yet to know what we're looking for.
Girl,
is that correct?
I'm so behind.
We're so lazy.
Mostly it's just stuff I knew about already, like the exit games that are like coming out,
and people aren't doing. I haven't seen any previews yet, and it's like, I feel like it's like tomorrow. It's not. But
it starts in 2 weeks, right?
Yeah,
just
I know, but I haven't seen a lot of like Essen previews.
I haven't either. I think
there's
less
a lot of games I do.
Year.
The Quinette games, Merlin. There's a lot of things I do want from Essen, but I will say that there's not quite the push, or I'm so out of it that I haven't seen it.
I just think there's less of a push.
What's your optimal? Do you guys have like an Essen mule? Do you get games at Essen? Do you pre-order through somebody? There's Taiwan games, Smooks. I don't know how you say it.
Board Game Design Group, the Taiwan Board Game Design Group.
I don't know how to say it. I've never said his name like out loud. So
Smooks, that's his name.
Okay. I order through him if I want to order anything. I don't know if you guys have any recommendations. If you like, if there's like really, if you're looking at the Essen preview stuff, there's really hot stuff you want to do. The Taiwan, what is it? What do you say?
Board Game Design Group. Yeah.
Board Game Design Group.
I love them. I think they're amazing, but TMG is picking up all of their line at this point, so I'm waiting for retail. I'm that guy.
Okay. Well, I mean,
but if you can't wait.
Ross brings up Brazil. Brazil is actually going on to US Kickstarter in November, so I don't know that I'll get a copy of it through Essen.
Brad, I checked out. Nicole, did you play Palace of Mad King Ludwig with me?
Brad, Palace of Mad King Ludwig got pushed back to February. It's part of my job.
Oh, really? Oh.
Yeah, Bezier is a PSI client, so I have information.
You didn't play it with me, Nicole?
No, I played it at Dice Tower Con.
I was going to say, I didn't think you did, but I knew that you played it eventually. We played it in like very baby form.
It's really
March. And it was like super baby form, and they changed a bunch of stuff, and I haven't played it since then. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe we should do an Essen top 10 if we like can get around to it.
What I've been considering, because I've been so bad about video content. If any of you follow my video, you know that I literally have like 7 unposted videos right now because I just can't get my brain to be like, yeah, that's a good video. But I might just go through the preview live like Rado used to do.
Yeah.
Just be like, fuck it, I'll just do this.
No, I love that. That's a great idea.
So,
because what's this game? Google it.
I'm asking. So I don't know if you guys have ever watched any of these, but Daryl Andrews and I have done a lot of Origins, Gen Con, and Essen preview videos, which
I like when you do those.
have called combined Nerd Nighters and Maple Syrup. Nerd Syrup. I actually just messaged him and said Essen preview video ? So maybe we'll do one if we could pull one together. I know he's like in Paris though, so he's probably,
wow.
Yeah, like what Paris is like 8 hours from now. So he's like, we're just waking up maybe. But yeah, maybe we'll do one. If not, I don't know. The good ones that I usually like and agree with are Joel usually does one, drive-through review. And I am like usually pretty on par with like what games are on his radar. Who else usually does like a pretty good one?
So I usually look at Rado and Joel. And then usually people like, so Andrew Smith, who was in the chat earlier, it's people like that who I know like the same types of Euros as me that I'll usually listen to. Andrew and I have a very similar sense. So my Twitter becomes more important as I go. And then some of the newer outlets like Peace and Love Games that's local to me, I think she's doing more and more like Googling type stuff for me because I'm lazy.
No, yeah. I feel like it was weird because for a minute there, everyone was doing like preview videos for conventions, and then everybody stopped. You know what I mean? It's so funny. It's so weird.
I honestly feel like there is less hype over Essen releases this year. Like there's just less big titles.
I think there's just so
everywhere.
There's just games all the time coming out, all the time everywhere. So you're just like, you can't. For one, all of the manufacturers are being flooded with games. Like, remember whenever Panda was like a baby manufacturer? And they all of a sudden had these huge growing pains, and then they were like, we can't make all this stuff really quick. So I think that just there are so many games, and they're not, it's so hard to predict. Like, can we get these out and release it at Essen? Can we get these out and release it at Gen Con? Can we get it out and release it at Origins? Plus, more and more people are going to more conventions. So it's not just like, well, the ones to release games at are Gen Con and Essen. It's like, well, we can release games at BGG Con. We can maybe release games at PAX Unplugged. We can release games at, you know, these like Gamma even. You know, we can release games at these other conventions. So just like more and more people are spreading these games out and just also just not hitting what they think they're going to hit. Right. Yeah. Gosh, we can't make it by Essen, so we won't do Essen. So I don't know, you know. So there's just like literally games being released like all of the time. So I think it's just harder.
I have to wonder as well. So I got into gaming at this point 7 or 8 years ago, but I wonder if we all like, I met most of my friends through gaming and board game Twitter. And I wonder if we all are in the same pattern of like, okay, we get really, really hype about stuff. And now that we're a few years later, we don't get as hype. And I wonder if it's a pattern of your friends just like learning to wait to see what the big hits are, or learning to like not worry so much about getting stuff first.
I know. I don't back as many stuff on like Kickstarter. I don't buy a game as immediately as I should.
So we're saying like right now there's not as much focus, but is that because we're old? Are there like newer?
Are we getting old? I got a Charlie horse in my leg earlier and was like,
I am old.
And it was doing something inane, which I'll tell you two ladies after, but not.
I honestly just like don't feel like there's as many big releases for Essen specifically this year.
Like, that's what I'm saying. I think they're just like.
But everyone's been saying that the last 3 years.
Yeah.
Like I literally have noticed this for like 3 years. Like people saying, "Oh, this year just doesn't seem to have that it game or whatever." Like something like L5R came out, and everyone's like, "Oh, there's nothing being released at Gen Con." So
I
mean,
Erwin's kind of hit it. Like I think we're all looking for that unique game to add to our library. We're not looking for like, well, I play like if Lords of Waterdeep is my go-to worker placement game and that's what I want to play. So maybe I'm not looking for another worker placement game. You know what I mean? So even if there's like a really cool one that comes out, maybe I'm just like, I don't know, we already know how to play this and it's really good and we're just going to do that, you know.
See, I don't think I've lost my wonder for these things. Like,
I haven't lost that love and feeling. I haven't lost that love and feeling.
Well, like Netters just mentioned Gaia Project, which is like Terra Mystica but in space.
I saw someone playing that at Shucks. Ah,
and I hate some of the graphic choices they put into it, but I want to play it really bad.
Yeah.
And Clans of Caledonia also has kind of a Terra Mystica feel, but I still really want to play it. I backed it on Kickstarter. So I don't know that I've lost it, but I do feel like I hear all the time, oh, there's nothing coming out this year. So I don't know.
The interesting thing
There's
for me is like the two things that I'm like interested in that like I've kind of heard about that are coming out of Essen are like derivative of stuff that's already come out. So new exit titles. And
I'll play all of them.
And Istanbul, the dice game. I'm like, oh, that sounds interesting. I'd love to try that because I love Istanbul.
I know,
so it's just me like knowing what I like. It's like me saying like, oh, I really like Parks and Rec and Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Maybe I'll give this show that's by those creators a turn. Like, you know, I'm just set
like Clank in Space. Yeah. Clank in Space is, I'll be fair, here's the deal.
It's fun. It's fun.
I will say, when I first heard about it, and I was literally working at Renegade at Gen Con, and we like mildly found out about it like right before the announcement, mildly. And we're workers, like whatever. But Renegade takes care of us, by the way. Renegade is like amazing company to work for at conventions.
They're good. Yes. Good fam.
I was like, oh, that's their announcement. Clank is. I was kind of like, it's just Clank. I like Clank. I was like, it's just that, but in space. It's a totally different game. And it's actually pretty amazing. And I'm saying that coming from someone that was like skeptical. I was like, oh, she's in space. No, it's a totally different game. And it's actually more of a gamer's game. If you felt like Clank in Space was not deck buildery enough, Clank in Space is more deck builder.
Well, they mostly shot themselves in the foot by, I don't know if they encouraged it or just kind of allowed for it, but the few reviewers that did know what it was hyped it like something revolutionary was coming out.
That was a weird thing.
That was very weird. In fact, one person broke the what do they call it? Like an NDA, but I don't know what they call it. They break
it happens all the time. It happens all the time. People,
but you know what I mean?
People, content creators break NDAs, and they're just like, you know,
just like everybody calm down a little bit, just a smidge, take it down a notch.
Also, like, let's just talk about the game and not talk about the drama.
But I just
it's a fun game though. I like it.
Oh, Emily, I'm so disappointed to hear that. Emily said the Pharaoh's Tomb exit game was broken for us. We solved a clue too early, and it was too short from there.
Oh,
no. I did not experience that. I played all three.
I haven't played that one.
I played all three of them, and I played them in order of like the recommended difficulty or whatever. I think Pharaoh's Tomb was number 2 or 3, maybe. And like we didn't have that problem, but man, I don't know. We played it 2-player, so we didn't have like, it was me and my roomie, so we didn't have like a bunch of eyes on stuff.
New roomie?
Yeah, I do have a new roomie. I think he's here. His name is Doug. He's amazing. He fixed cheese dip tonight. I'm going to eat that.
Wow.
You guys all wanted to know that. So Nicole is on the East Coast, as some of you might also be, but she has to bail.
I am old, and I love you all. But
as we all said, she is old. But Nicole, do you have anything that you want to say before you go? I know everyone should listen to your rules book discussion on botch games.
Yeah, so that's coming out on Monday.
If you're interested in like reading about what Shucks was like, then daily worker placement. Look at the Shucks thing, and then you have a Great Way Games podcast, which is you and Aaron Adrian. Oh my gosh, like amazing people.
We were without Adrian this month. She's on maternity leave from podcasting. So it was just tiny little baby Lucy. But Aaron and I spoke about being board game media content creators and what that means. And it was a good discussion. So I think it was interesting for us to kind of hash that out just between the two of us. So yeah, that's what's been going on with me, y'all. And
what's the best way if people want to like get in contact with you? What's the best way to do that?
So I'm unlocked on Twitter again, so you can just find me at iHeartMuseums on Twitter.
Yay!
And be kind. Rewind.
Yeah. If you're not kind, we're gonna punch you.
We're gonna punch you.
Yeah. Them internet punches.
Punch you.
So but yeah, thank you for bearing with my sleepiness towards the end of this, and enjoy the rest of the stream, everybody.
Let's see you at BGG.
Bye.
Gidget makes an appearance.
You're just gonna take over for me. Okay, bye.
Bye.
Here we are. Oh, she really does have RBF though. Like, look at that face. She's like not having it. She's so over it. Like before it even starts. This is the saddest. I can't. Oh God. I can't. Kid did so many good work. Thanks, Kabuki Kid.
So good. Kabuki Kid, you did it. You did it.
You did do it. Kabuki Kid is so great. So, like, you don't join us on Twitch all the time, but they join us on YouTube because I know that they do, like, a lot of Dice Tower and BGG stuff. And
they're often here, though, like, whenever we do
for sure. Yeah. So I know that they missed it, and I'm so glad that Kabuki Kid is here because I love Kabuki Kid. So good.
Yay. Yeah, we really appreciate you all, like, coming to YouTube. Like, we literally, like,
I'm so
Steph,
sorry.
admit this. None of us wanted to, like, we're just like, oh my freaking God, we can't get anything to work. We're going to do a YouTube thing. We're going to have to shove everyone over here.
It doesn't matter if it worked an hour from now, which it did. It doesn't matter. You know what I mean? It's just technology. And I have this new PC, and the PC is fine. PC is amazing. I have a new camera, but those could be like the issues also, potentially.
My computer's basically a brick that sort of projects my image, but that's okay.
I have some things that could help you from like my old computer if you want to like farm them.
I might want to do that. I was pricing stuff out. I spent so much trying to like move into this place, and Seattle's so expensive. I did not save enough for a new computer recently, but we will get there.
It's been pretty monumental. Like it's been kind of life changing because I've been able to do like a lot of work and stuff like that with the new PC, and the main reason that I haven't started doing stuff full time is I'm still struggling with this is real talk right now. This is like after dark. I'm struggling with what I want to name it because I made my Twitter name based on like a college joke from Capri Suns. It's like not weird and sexual. Insert straw here. That's my last name. And I don't know if I want to make a channel based on that or if I want to do a new name that like actually sounds like something game related. So that's been my biggest struggle.
Yeah. So, and I knew that struggle before I made my channel, and I still made my channel a non-gaming name. So like MaggieBot will never bring in a random crowd, right? It doesn't have cardboard or tabletop or anything in it.
Right.
And I really hate cardboard references, if that helps.
Same.
Because I don't think that grabs a new gamer, because I always knew that my audience
they don't
was
understand.
Not that.
Yeah, they don't understand the cardboard reference, and I actually don't even think they understand the meeple reference. I think if you put the word game in there or play,
so
maybe
you need board game or play. But if you do insert straw here, you can do content that's aimed at people that are already in the know. So that's that's your big struggle, right? Like that's where your decision goes. My decision was to keep myself branded so that I could do like, if I feel like it, which I have considered many times and I have recorded, like movie reviews or whatever the fuck I want, because it's my channel that's like me branded. And then most of the people that follow me are in a way, in my mind, friends of mine. And if they're not friends of mine, they could be friends of mine because they're generally interested in both me and whatever I'm doing.
Basically, yeah. Do I want my target audience to be like brand new gamers? I mean, I don't want it to not be brand new gamers, but like,
right, you don't want to exclude anyone, but you have to identify your audience.
People don't have a lot of time to like watch or listen to my content, so I'm kind of like, I get it. Like, I will never. I love when people are like, "I'm so sorry, I don't listen to onboard games," and I'm like, that's fine. Like,
right, like, okay.
I don't listen to every single industry podcast that is released. I do try to listen to a lot of the ones that I like, love and support, at least like an episode here and there, but I can't digest all of that either. Come on.
Right. Like, I would say because of the number of people I know in the industry at this point, if I know you, I know, like, I listen or watch at least once a year your stuff, but unless it's like giving me knowledge, then I'm probably not going to be able to keep up on it, you know? So like, it's hard for me to stay super current with all of the media that comes out. But I think
that's the main thing. Yeah, Kabuki Kid, totally, 100%. Like, I love doing it, and I want to do it. And if I get 0 viewers, I would still do it. Like, I would still do it.
That's where you have to come from.
I'm not trying to like make it rich. Like, first of all, there's not a lot of money in it, but that's not what I'm trying to do. I'm doing it on top of the other things that I'm doing because that's what I want to do. And that's why I asked for help on my GoFundMe, and like, because that's what I want to do, and I want to do it for fun. I just want to like have it out there. If you want to listen to it, cool. If you don't, also cool. But that's, I always ask people that. People ask me for advice. They're like, what, like, and they probably, you too, Maggie. They're like, what do I need to do to like be successful? And I always, the literal first thing I ask is like, what do you want to accomplish? Are you trying to make money? Are you trying to be famous? Or are you just doing it for fun? And there might be some other, and there might be 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever reasons. But I ask that because that makes a huge difference on the content that you put out, when you put it out, what you put it out, how you put it out, all that stuff.
Well, and if you want to make money, you go into beauty blogging or video games. Like, I will tell you straight up, like, you're not going to make money in board games. There are 4 people and they do it better than you.
Rodney Smith already, and he's amazing.
That's what I'm
saying. He's the nicest guy. Oh, I can't do
You're not better than Rodney. You're not better than shut up and sit down. Like, everybody go away. Like, you're not going to do it.
I can't do that. And I don't, well, I mean, not that I won't. Not that I'm saying don't do how to play videos, because there's already someone there, or some people there. Do it if you want to do it. But yeah, I just don't. Try not to get discouraged if you're like, I'm not making any money doing this. Well, that's going to be hard. That's a different goal, and that's going to be hard for you, I think.
There's a reason Rodney or Paul Grogan get paid for those, because how to play videos are some of the most intensive, grueling, and unfun types of videos to make. So, like, if someone's doing it better than you, and that it's not your goal to like make a profession out of it, just skip that part. Just do the review part. Like, do anything.
Yeah, if you want to make money, Kabuki Kid, do YouTube videos of opening toys. Actually, just procreate, have a child, and do YouTube videos of them opening toys. Do a board game cooking show. Well, like, you're like cooking like different board games? Like, what do you mean? What are you doing?
Like, because the beginning of Board Game Breakfast, he pours milk over meatballs. That seems to be very popular.
Tony Miller says, sometimes I try to find a niche. Okay. I have heard this on more occasion than I can count. And some people are like, hey, I have a really good idea for a podcast. Instead of talking about brand new games, we're going to talk about like old games. And I'm like, there are already channels that are doing that. And I have to like break it. And they're like, oh, I have a brand new idea. And I'm like, do your idea if that's what you want to do. But if your goal, the way you're presenting it to me is, this is a new thing, I don't think anyone's doing that. It's like, everyone's kind of pretty much doing everything at this point.
Right. And anytime someone says to you, oh, you've never seen anything like this. This happens to me more with like the types of board games people present me. They'll be like, oh, it's like Magic, but blah, blah, blah. And they'll be like, oh, there's never a game that's been this, blah, blah. I'm like, no, that's not true. I'm sorry. You didn't do your research.
You're like, I'm Maggie Bond, and I know all.
You're wrong.
Because she does.
Like, just assume that you're wrong first.
Have Gidget do the reviews.
Doing it. And do it if you want to, but don't do it because you think there's a gap in the market. That's just not a thing that exists at the moment.
Yeah.
Like,
there actually,
at all.
I think there actually are even some videos of like animals like at reviews or being involved in reviews. So that even that is not
cats, new. For sure.
That is not new. Although Gidget is a huge board game fan. She's
although and that's the thing, is that you can do something that someone else is doing and that's no problem. It's not it's not a zero-sum idea, right? Like you can do it as well as other people doing it, and someone that, so in my mind,
it's just what you want out of it, I think.
Right. The way that gamers work, it's not that they want something that they don't already have, they want more of what they already enjoy. And you guys can argue with me all you want, but people buy Ticket to Ride Europe as well as Ticket to Ride India, as well as Ticket to Ride blah, 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 because they want more of what they already enjoy. They don't necessarily want branching out things all the time. So
speaking of that, good segue. Mags, good. she goes,
good segue.
So I'm actually, I am so excited about these Asmodee digital apps that are coming out. So excited. I'm going to do a thing on my Insert Straw Here Twitch channel next Wednesday for the new Smash Up app that came out today. I'm going to do like a live play. I think I'm going to do one game against an AI, and I might do some games against viewers if you're there and if you own the game, and then we can do some stuff. And then the week after that, I'm going to do Ticket to Ride First Journey, the app, which is actually
cool.
Also pretty amazing. And by Asmodee Digital is like knocking it out of the park. Guys, I play their apps all the time. I play like is it Onirim or Onira? I don't know how to say it.
It's Onirim, if I'm not mistaken.
Perfect. Onirim and then Potion Explosion are like my go-to.
Postblow. Did you So today I downloaded the Cottage Garden app. Did you download that?
I saw that you posted about that because you were upset because you couldn't play it immediately. I am going to download it. What time, Steph? If you did in the evening, I could play with you. I'm going to do it. It's going to be, Wednesday evening, like at 6 p.m. Central, I think. But I'll announce it on my Twitter and stuff like that. But I want to do Cottage Garden though. Like that looks really good. I mean, I actually haven't played Cottage Garden, the board game, but this is how I learned how to play some of the games. Like sometimes it's a lot easier to learn how to play games on like digital applications. And
the tutorial was bomb. Like it was really good.
No, Asmodee Digital has like an amazing design team. They beta test the like crap and snot out of everything. So their tutorials are actually really great. And I have learned how to play a lot of, like, I've never played Onirim. I don't own that. I own Sylveon, but I don't own that one. And I bought the app and I love it. And I don't know if I would have, I kind of was interested in the card game, but it's so approachable to just go, let me just buy this app and download it. And if I like it, then cool. And if I don't, then whatever, especially if it's a solo game. You know,
when I had played the first edition when it was in cardboard, because I was in retail sales at the time, but I hadn't considered playing any of the other Onirimverse games until the digital version of the base game came out. I was like, okay, so it's got a little better, it's got a little slicker, and all of these other games, I really hope they get the rights to do like Nautilion and Castellion and all the other ones.
They're getting a lot. So everyone's
they're
wow, Tony is Onirim.
Onirim.
Tony's Onirim stats are 49.3% win rate after over 300 games.
Oh, wow.
Wow. You win way more than me.
Okay. And my friend Sam Heckman, who I know from Magic, he worked for Watsy forever. He was like, he downloaded Onirim on my recommendation, and he's talking about how amazingly he's doing. His win rate is in the like high 90s. And I was like, okay, that's super good. The game must be really simple for you. And he's like, yeah, I know. I'm like, okay, well, great. Like, I hope you keep playing it, because my win rate is not in the high 90s. About a month later, I get a tweet from him, and he's like, okay, it dropped a lot. And he shows like a picture of it in the 60s.
That's funny.
The game should not allow you to win that much.
Wow, Kabuki Kid. So, yeah, I agree with you. So, Onirim has a lot of shuffling, because when you get those door cards, you have to like shuffle and then shuffle after a couple of other stuff. So I get that, and also there's could be like lazy play or whatever shuffling, but the app is like a real RNG shuffling, so it's actually a really true version of the game to have it on the app and the app shuffle it for you. But yeah, but I get that some people find that like metadata, especially if you're playing it by yourself and you just like that methodical, like I'm gonna shuffle now, and you know, like some people probably like really enjoy that. Yeah. That's like really cool too. Who's heading to bed? Bye, Nurse Place.
Nurse.
We did go over like way over our time because we started super late. And Max and I have just been like, we just like kept talking because whatever. Max and I are just
I can't sleep anyway, but we should probably go at some point. But
we should probably end the stream at some point. I'm so sorry that we had technical difficulties. I will try to figure those out. I don't think we'll have a stream next Friday, but we could have one after that. I think we'll have to talk to the crew. Maybe we can bring Suze back. Goodness, I missed that.
Probably out for a while, but I miss her so much. I might see her this week. My friend Chris is in town this week, and we're gonna try and drag him and his lovely girlfriend Julia to our favorite Chinese place called Judy Foo's Snappy Dragon. So we're trying to make that go.
Okay, so before we go, let's just say real quick, like, where can we find? First of all, I want to know where I can find all of you guys in chat. Like, where are you going to be for the end of the year? Like, are you going to be at BGG? Are you going to be at PAX Unplugged? TwitchCon? Probably not a lot of people, but I'll be at TwitchCon this next weekend, and I'm actually kind of excited about the prospect of going to a convention that's not like board game centric, and then I can focus on how I can like get better at doing Twitch stuff, and kind of just like not knowing a lot of people there. That sounds like I'm really conceited and that I know everyone at other conventions. That's not what I mean. I kind of mean like that I'm not working, and that I don't have to network as much, but like I'm looking forward to like meeting a bunch of new people, and it's in California, and that's really cool. And NPC Chris will be there with me, so we're going to be hanging out. And Crit Camp Gaming, which is also on Twitch. If you guys don't follow them, they're like pretty cool channel, Crit Camp Gaming on Twitch. And then I'm going to BGG Con, of course, we talked about earlier. And that's it for the end of the year for me. What about you, Max? What are you doing? Just BGG?
So definitely BGG. Because of new work, I'm also representing PSI at some trade shows. So if anyone's at the Southern Hobby Show, I'll be there really soon. And then we're working toward OrcaCon, which is local to me here in Bellevue. I'm like 90% going to be at OrcaCon, and then after that, Gamma. So,
question. I don't have a ticket for OrcaCon.
Yes.
But I've never missed an OrcaCon, and I've always been able to pay at the door.
They definitely still have passes on sale. They had a change of venue. So you know how it used to be in Everett? It is now in Bellevue. Bellevue is much closer to main Seattle. So if you're familiar at all with
Hotel-wise?
Yes. So Bellevue is like 30 minutes from Seattle, or like a 30-minute bus ride from Seattle instead of like the hour and a half bus ride to Everett. Yeah. I think it's going to be a good thing, even though it was so last minute. Unfortunately, their venue failed them miserably. OrchidCon is great. It's a tabletop focused.
It's a bummer.
It's a tabletop focused con with a mindfulness about diversity and inclusivity, because the person that runs it and owns it cares the ever living shit out about inclusivity and diversity, and she
everybody that works with them. It's amazing.
Yes. She vets every single person that's involved. Every vendor is
the literal most comfortable and confident that I have ever felt at a gaming convention ever in my life. And even I went there and like Mags and I had a moment where we were both like uncomfortable and like sad, and we were able to overcome that. And I don't know if we could have overcome that like somewhere else.
Yeah,
like that.
I had like a full-on panic attack for no good reason,
girl. And I was like panicking too, and it just like just the atmosphere and the people there just made it so like this is okay, and like people won't think I'm weird because I'm panicking. You know what I mean? Like if they see me like crying in the bathroom, they won't be like, they won't like ignore me, which would be fine if they did. But you know, like it was just so, you know, I don't know. It was just really great. It was really great.
In the bathroom, I'm like sitting there like panicking and crying and like having an anxiety attack, and she's like, "Okay, I can get you tissue or candy, or I can bring you music, or like
what do you want?" Yeah.
We'll do whatever you need. And I'm like, "No, I just need to calm down."
That's time. Yeah. It was so great. What an amazing convention. So I'm excited for their new location. I'm bummed that like stuff fell through for the other one, but I don't have any plans to go there right now, but I would love to go there. This would be the literal first one that I've missed. So I would be so sad if I missed it, and I hope that it works out. So that's OrchidCon. It's in January in Bellevue.
Yes.
And so, yeah.
BGG and OrchidCon, and then for trade shows, Southern Hobby for sure, and then Gamma is a little farther out.
Other than going to not be in Vegas anymore, it's going to be in
it's Reno.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Reno.
So for better or worse, I don't particularly love Vegas.
See. It'll be the Vegas. I've actually never been to Vegas. So.
I was there very recently, and I was in the Mandalay Bay, and I don't want to be there anymore.
We don't have to talk about that if you know.
No. Yeah, so I'm happy to be in Reno.
So thank you guys for joining us on YouTube and being so flexible. Holy goodness. I am so sorry that we had so many issues and not being able to. I 100% would prefer, I know that some of you might prefer that we broadcast on YouTube. We try to broadcast to both. I 100% prefer to broadcast on Twitch just because of the flexibility that I have. Like I can put up like pictures and I can like stream stuff, and Twitch is just so much more advanced with live streaming than YouTube is. So I very much prefer it. But things were just not aligning. So, but we didn't want to. I will say Mags was the main one that encouraged and was like, let's move on, because I was very frustrated. So without Mags, I don't know that we would be here tonight, because like Mags is like, let's just do it. We have so many people here. Let's just do a show on YouTube. So thank you for always being flexible. Like really, we appreciate it. Whether we're on YouTube or Twitch, you're here, and like that's amazing. Super cool.
Yes, we love you all. I missed the chat.
This was a spoopy reunion. It wasn't very spoopy.
It's so spoopy.
We didn't talk about spoopy games. Maybe we'll talk about, you guys think about your spoopy games, and maybe we'll do one. I'm available to do a stream like the weekend of Halloween, but I don't know if other people are available. But so think of your spoopy games. I'm talking about your Wild Schottenspiels and I'm talking about your Arkham horrors and that kind of stuff, think of your spoopy games, and we'll have a stream talking about
what was
spoopy
that
games.
game? Seven Sins, I think it was called, with like the creepiest
Yes.
women faces ever.
Yes. Bloody Inn. We played Bloody Inn. Yeah, also kind of spoopy. Mysterium is a little spoopy. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And maybe we can get Sus to join us if she's not like super busy. But Maggie, so we can all find you where? Just remind us again.
I'm Magibot. It's MAGDIBOT. I'm on Twitter, Facebook, Board Game Geek, YouTube, pretty much anything where I could put Magibot in, except for this one place where someone took my name and I'm mad. But it was like a board game, and I'm really pissed about it. But it's fine. Where can we find you, Steph?
I have chosen to like separate. I just have like a million different gamer tags and such. So I'm mostly, the best way to find me to talk about board games is on Twitter at InsertStraw here. And then of course here. Subscribe if you haven't already to our channel below so that you know whenever we go live, when we post new videos. We don't just do live content. Maggie does some stuff. Netter's Place does some stuff. Oh my gosh, like a lot of people that were in chat tonight like post stuff, and there are some of our meeples included, and they post stuff. So check out some of the videos on this channel, and then also follow us on Twitch, where we hopefully usually do this live stream, and that is twitch.tv/meeples included. And again, I am Stephanie Straw. Thanks, you guys.
Thank you guys.
Love you all. No outro music. Again, just I hope you're all singing right now.